Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin with REI Network. Welcome back for another episode. Super cool. What I want to talk to you about today is high-end, flipping homes high-end. Okay, that's what we're going to dive into. Just before we do that, just got off a coaching call with a client that has just started using Batch Driven. Okay, which is a virtual driving for dollars app. Okay, if you go to batchdriven.com/Gavin, batchdriven.com/Gavin, you can get a free trial there. Check it out. You get 50, I think, free skip traces right now. And just had a client started using that. Within 2 weeks, he's already managed to do virtual driving for dollars using somebody virtual, get it pulled, skip traced, called, bring the lead in and get a contract, which is absolutely fantastic. So check that out, batchdriven.com/Gavin. Go and get your free trial, get your free skip traces and check it out and let me know. Drop me a comment and let me know what you thought. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today about is flipping homes in a high-end market or area. Okay, now we've started to do this in multiple different locations, from high-end areas in general, which is like your Maui, right? Everything on Maui is expensive. You can't buy anything cheap on Maui. So they're obviously a given, but also in like your lower end, like your Birmingham, Alabamas and things like that, actually flipping homes there as well. And this could be flipping as in taking it down and actually doing a rehab on it, or wholesaling it. We're going to be required. What I want to talk about to you is actually how do we actually find the deal, right? How do we actually approach on the high end areas and actually get that deal kind of under contract, get control of it, and then what do we do with it? And again, we've done this virtually where we've actually done the flip and wholesaled it. But the beauty is, as you know by now, is that the money is made and when you buy the deal, when you get the deal. The power is the deal. Everyone wants your flippers, your wholesalers, your cash buyers, whatever. They all need the deal. So once you have that, that's when money's made at the buy price. You make money when you buy, not when you sell, by getting it at the right price. And that goes for a wholesale deal or a fix and flip. Okay. So what are a few things that we can do? Obviously, the conversation is different. Normally on a high-end home, so let's say that you're in an average market of 200,000-300,000 might be your median price range, but now you're going into, doing things like $1 million, right? Or you're going to be doing to sell it over $1 million. The conversations are different. Now, I don't like to use the word they're more educated, because that's not right. I'd say more savvy, right? In general, sellers at higher end homes where they're worth more money, for the most part, I would say are more savvy, right? They understand, they know they're not just like a landlord that's got 20 houses under 100,000 and they're just turning and burning them. I mean, this is like a serious piece of real estate that costs a lot of money. So you have to approach that differently. Sometimes they will want proof of funds. Okay. Sometimes they will, say, well, who are you? And ask for, have you got a website? What deals have you done? And that's just part of the relationship and the networking. You just can't come into these deals and start throwing out the Mayo formula, doing 75% of the ARV minus repairs minus your fee, because it doesn't work like that in the high end homes for the most part. And here's why. What you're looking for is that if you take, a Phoenix market, for instance, right? We've been looking to a house in Arcadia, South Arcadia. And what you'll find is that you will buy potentially a home retail will still close, right? Where you get the home at a retail price for the condition and size that it's in, and then you're going to add square footage to then turn it into obviously a higher price point. So for instance, one of the strategies, quite clear, I was driving around Phoenix last time I was there, and I went out with a lender who's doing about 30 flips, and we had this conversation. He said, right, the land in this area for a 7,500 square lot is about 525,000. So regardless of if the house is there, the game plan is we get that house at 525,000, okay, which is pretty much retail for something that's probably 1,400 square foot, needs a ton of work. knock it down, put a brand new build on, okay, probably, I think he said about $108 a square foot, sell it for 1.1 million. By the time they've done that, they make about 250 grand, right? So they have the formula down that they have certain style homes, certain lots, buy the lot, and in that condition, retail, that's what that's what the house might be worth, is 525,000 as it sits. But again, adding that volume, taking it from then a 15 or 1400 square foot home, put in a 3200 square foot home on there, big ceilings, just great layout, putting that on and then reselling it for 1.1 million. That's how you would then do. Obviously, that would be a knockdown and a brand new build, but the same goes for a value add, right? Maybe we don't need to knock it down. What if we could take it, which happens a lot as well, where we actually take a home worth the 525,000 and we do a value add. So it's 1400 square foot and it's a 3-1. We're going to make it a 4-2 and we're going to make it 2800 square foot. We're going to add, an extra bedroom, a master, this or that, right? We're going to redo the whole thing, a complete remodel, and we're going to add value on. We're going to make it bigger, take the square footage up. And then when we sell it, something like that might sell for 900,000, right? So we might make 100 grand, on that flip. So what your job is obviously get under, under that to sell it to the people that are paying close to retail. So you can be looking for these things saying, yeah, this house, we just locked two up in Alabama, one at 400,000, one at 450,000 that we're deciding, should we flip them right now? In the big jobs, they probably need 300, probably 400,000 in each one, probably sell for 1.5 million if everything goes to plan. But we've got permits to get, contractors, it's a massive rehab, and are we ready for that, taking that down? And we're undecided. Maybe if we can make 100, 150 grand wholesale in it, then we might do that. So we'll give you an update on actually what we do. We have control. We're doing our due diligence, but they are massive projects. They're going to take probably 6 to 8 months to take down and put back on the market. Okay. But value add obviously is a big one. Also, before you even get into, and I should have mentioned this already, before you even get into the marketing of going after high-end homes, you want to be networking. I just did an episode a couple of weeks ago regarding this, networking with your high-end flippers and your realtors in them areas, right? The ones that are used to doing deals in them areas, you need to know who they are. And that leads then to the contractors. You cannot take your contractor that's used to doing, a home of 150,000, putting 20,000 in and selling it for 230, right? And they're great, and maybe they can handle the job. But when you're doing full remodels or developments, it's a different kind of beast altogether. When you're putting 300,000-400,000 into building something, then you can see you can't just send that. You need contractors that are used to working in them high-end areas. How do you find them? Drive the neighborhood if you're local. Okay, call around. Hey, do you have any references for contractors in the area that work this market? Talk to your realtors, talk to your flippers to get them in to give you an estimate on actually getting that contract. Okay, so that's really, really important as well. You're always going to be really double closing on these deals as well, in my opinion. These really aren't assignable contracts at the high end. Now, maybe if there's no spread in there, then, you could assign it, but be prepared to double close, right? Now, in a lot of states, you can do a back-to-back double close with having the buyer's money in place. You might have to bring transactional funding in, but be prepared to do that. You're not going to be able to assign these deals as easy, especially if you're making 50, 60K on the assignment fees. That's not going to fly just doing an assignment. I would say that be prepared to double close. Okay, so these are a few things just that you need to be looking for, okay, before you even start marketing in them areas. Okay, is what we've just talked about. So just to recap, you got to be looking at the condition of the home and what's around it. 1,500 square foot home, things are being redone, rebuilt at 3,200 square foot. Okay, then we take the value of what that is worth, and it may be $500,000 as it sits. Okay, but when they do their thing to it, they're going to get the $1 or over $1 million or whatever. You know, just like our Maui deal, we bought it at 955,000. We sold it at 2.265 million. Okay. I actually, you know, I've said this on other episodes. If you want to go and check that out, I did a case study on the whole breakdown of the marketing and everything. So go to reinetwork.com/Maui. It's completely free. I did a 30-minute video, 30-minute video, kind of going through it. The list that we pulled, how we did it, what marketing we did, and all of good things like that. Okay, so go and check that out. But back to this. So you want to do all the things that we talked about, value add, right? Making sure contractors that you get in there, cash buyers that you get in there are buying and flipping in that area, because it's a different beast. Networking with your realtors and cash buyers to get who the contractors are. Who do you need to know in them areas? Your conversations, remember, will be at a higher level. They might need proof of funds, no problem. Multiple places where you can get that from. And being honest as well with the seller. You're not going to be able to come in and go, well, I'm just going to do my formula on a cash offer. No, you got to look at the market, look at the conditions of the homes. And again, value add will always trigger in that. It could be a knockdown and a complete brand new build, or it could be, again, adding square footage. The lot sizes matter as well in the high end, right? You might have a 7,000 square foot lot to an 8,000 square foot lot, and that might be the difference between getting a 2,800 square foot home versus a 4,000 square foot home, depending on the land, depending on how grand. And you just have to match what's going on in the neighborhood, right? Because what you'll find is eventually that all the homes will go the same way. They will be built on, and value will be added, and they will all look the same. So as long as you don't want to be the first one in the area doing it, but once you've seen 10 of them are happening on that, and then they're building into this street and the street over, and then a couple on them streets have gone, it's just a cycle. Again, Phoenix is a perfect example of this, because I've seen it. It just starts to build out and grow. The homes when I used to live in Phoenix, I just cannot even begin to think and explain to you how much that market has gone up. Okay, from areas that I used to live in when I could have probably bought something 6 years ago for 250,000, and now going for 750,000 for exactly the same home. It's just insane. And that's what happens when these high-end areas, you know, where people want to live, buying, and that's how it's going to work. All right. So hopefully this helps. Again, if you want more details on this, you want to go into more detail, you can drop a comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And again, on the podcast, I appreciate it. Feel free to share it. Any of my episodes, please share away. I want to get as much, as many eyeballs as I can on the content that I'm doing. So I appreciate you all. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.